64-bit legends. Welcome.
Legend of the game, like GoldenEye, I'm more than right.
Yeah.
The perfect dark is dreams that seem to come to life. 64-bit, the shit, it's as real as it
Yeah.
gets. We can talk sports, games, and music, take your pick. Point with the news, pull up and crack a brew. Smoke one with the crew, tune in and take a view.
Watch.
We here to raise the bar from the lowest mark. Sit your ass down and listen, it's time for the show to start.
Welcome to another episode of 64-Bit Legends. I am Bobby Caboose. Waiting for that hot tag is Melvin Troy.
Yes, I'm here. Hot tag me.
Hopefully the ref's looking. And today we have Six Flags Sam in the house.
Nice.
Hello.
Six Flags, what's up, man?
Nothing. How are you guys?
Not too bad. I kind of want to hear the story of why they call you Six Flags.
Yeah, what's
but-
going on with those flags?
You want the real story?
Yeah. What's the real... give us the lowdown of why they call you Six Flags.
Did you have a
Sam.
different name and then you added an L later?
No. L. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I get it. Pretty sure it was Bobby over here watching Step by Step and seeing him go to the theme park and.
No, man,
I'm
that's not the
pretty
real
sure-
story.
I'm
You
pretty
told us.
sure-
You told us a whole different story last night with so
Yeah.
much detail.
Besides, I thought they went to Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
So, like, that's different.
What do you...
Is it at the airport with Samoa Joe?
Samoa Joe?
I don't want to do
Fat
Fat
Joe?
Joe. That's played
Listen,
out.
you want to talk about the Samoa Joe project
Yeah.
again? We can spend another 2 hours on it.
Well, no, that
fix
was
baseball.
a different version of Sam. That was Two Scissors No
Oh,
Hands
that's
Sam.
right. That's a different
This
guy.
is Six Flags Sam.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Sams that come through, so he's
Yeah.
they gotta have different nicknames so we can decipher who.
I do not know where that name came from.
Ah, that's weird, man. That's weird that you would get such a weird nickname and not have any
Yeah,
detail on a story.
Very peculiar.
It's pretty
Huh.
wild.
But today's episode, we are actually doing our preview for our sitcom draft.
Yes.
Our sitcom draft will probably be within the next 2 episodes, so we decided to do a rundown of, like, pretty much. We were just talking about all the
just
characters.
decided this,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We decided about 30 seconds ago because we were talking off air and we were like, why aren't we recording this?
Yeah.
So anyway, anyone want to chime in about the sitcom draft that's happening?
So here's okay. Let me give you a little preface because I know you knew this. So the concept that we had is the three of us, right? It was just the three of us that submitted. We're gonna have a fourth member for the actual
yeah,
draft.
it's a mystery, remember?
Yeah, but there's the three of us. We each submitted 50 people from sitcoms. For the most part, it was a sitcom that involves a laugh track. I know there's maybe one or two that doesn't,
Yeah.
but that's the typical family comedy, like whatever. I didn't realize. I don't know why because we did. There's the same rules for the fucking video game draft.
Yeah, you gave me your roster.
Yeah.
Like you gave me like who you wanted to draft, and I was like,
Now we know.
yeah. He gives me like his lineup, right?
Yeah.
'Cause- okay, so the
Well, because I
lineup.
read the instructions and I just took it verbatim. I was like, oh, that's all I got to do. Okay.
Right. So the lineup, just clear things up, is going to be one main character, 2 adults, 2 kids, 1 neighbor, 1 coworker, a wild card or 2, it depends, and 2 flex categories, which the flex will be an additional adult, kid, or wild card. You can only have the 1 neighbor and coworker just because of the resources that we have.
Right.
But he just gives me his lineup, and I'm like, well.
I want to know so I know who to pick.
His main character was Dr. Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah.
Isn't it Cliff, not William?
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah, because I confused it. This is how out of it I was. I would confuse it with his actual name as William Cosby. So I did Dr. William Huxtable. So I kind of
yeah.
merged the two together.
I just thought of that. I was
Yeah,
like,
was-
isn't it?
yeah.
Is this going to be like a reboot with him where he is?
Oh, he's actually drugging them?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's drugging his
that's
own patients.
he's doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah, so I don't. Well, to be honest though, but then once you told me, I was like, oh wait, I need another 40 more. I was like, and then I started digging. I was like, oh man, all right, that lineup that I had sucked. So we're not gonna go with. I mean, those they stayed in there.
Right.
There's some good picks.
Do you know how many shows you pulled from? Because I actually counted mine. I pulled from 13.
From the
good
original lineup I gave you. And I know not all of them made it, obviously.
Right.
But I pulled from The Cosby Show, Roseanne. I also pulled from Perfect Strangers, Belky.
I did see that. Belky was a good choice.
Yeah, I'm surprised
I
it
don't even
didn't.
know what that is.
You've never seen
That-
Perfect Strangers?
That came out in the late 80s, and it
Yeah.
was Dana from Step by Step was in it, wasn't it? Or was that My Two Dads?
You're talking about My Two Dads. No, Perfect Strangers was there was the one brother in America, and then there's Belky, who is from like this fake foreign, Eastern European country, who comes over. He doesn't know anything. It's kind of like Crocodile Dundee, but he's from like Eastern Europe, and he's got to live with his cousin that he doesn't know. And it's like, how do they? It's kind of like almost like The Odd Couple, but for like the late 80s.
And Belky ends up being on Step by Step
Yes,
as
yes.
Carol's like hairdresser sidekick.
Yeah, he was also
hasn't been on
like,
Step by Step?
That
That is-
actor was in so much shit, like Beverly Hills Cop. He played like the same guy. Like he ran like a art gallery, and he had this weird fake accent. And like if you saw him, you'd know. I'm gonna pull him up. But anyway, so I had like not Step by Step, Perfect Strangers, Seinfeld,
Yeah.
and Drew Carey Show. And
Keenan and Kel, I saw
Keenan
in
and Kel, I
there.
threw a little bit in there.
Rest
Yeah,
in peace, Kel.
He's not dead. That was a hoax.
a little bit of Fresh. I think I threw some Fresh Prince in there. I'm trying to think. Oh, Family Ties, which, yeah, I had to explain who Alex P. Keaton was.
Yeah.
Today, because you did. That's
Yeah, I
Michael
have
J.
no idea.
Fox. One of the most
I never watched Family Ties. I know he was in it, but I didn't know his name.
one of the most famous. I mean, literally the most famous child actors from a sitcom, minus Will Smith. I think is. I mean,
He wasn't really
and
a
Mark
child.
and Mark Foster.
who the fuck's Mark Foster?
Step by Step. We just watched it, man. Copernicus's birthday.
Ah,
Fucking
yes.
A. Yeah, I chose mine. Like I had Step by Step, Full House, Boy Meets World,
You went the TGIF
Saved by the
route.
Bell. Yeah, I went TGIF. Family Matters. What else? What's the other one? I don't know. Some other ones. I picked. There was 13. I even put Mike Brady on there.
Yeah,
just for a classic. I picked Mike Seaver from Growing Pains. He didn't make it, but
Oh yeah, Serge.
Yes, Surge. Yes,
Yeah, I
Surge.
could see a dead animal on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
And then
great.
you went more of like more modern stuff, right?
So there was some. Married with Children.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Married
yeah,
with
we did.
Children.
Home Improvement.
Home Improvement.
Always Sunny.
Yeah, that was the outlier that I had
yeah.
forgotten about.
Yeah, that was the weird one. That wasn't like a family sitcom.
That was one I was thinking of pulling from The Office, and I was
Same
like,
here.
I don't know, does it really fit? Because it's like it is a sitcom technically, but it's not. I mean, I will say, Always Sunny though is still like a family unit.
Yeah.
Where The Office isn't. It's just
Yeah.
a bunch of just literally coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one fits more so amongst that.
Right. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna say. So I had nothing.
That's it.
Yeah,
Well, that was a good
that's
show.
That's a good show. We're gonna wrap it up, but no, we'll figure go through the 50 characters that we did choose.
Yeah.
Seinfeld didn't make the list.
Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah, I
Jerry
had,
Seinfeld is the worst character on the Seinfeld show.
Well, because Jerry is the one that all the other characters play off of.
right.
Like he doesn't have like there are some episodes that are like Jerry focused, like when he gets a bad haircut, or like
Pirate shirt.
when he pirate shirt, or when he's dating the woman that's always a nudist and she's like opening a jar of pickles in front of him, and he's like, it was a cool idea to be naked all the time, but there's just some things you can't do in the nude and still look good. So there's stuff like that, but for the most part, it was like him trying to be the normal person while George is freaking out, or Kramer's freaking
or
out.
like Danny Tanner didn't make the list. I was surprised on that.
Danny Tanner.
I was going to choose
Oh,
Dinosaur
yeah.
People, but I wasn't sure if that counted.
Well, but it did make the list.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I
good.
wasn't sure.
Don't no one from Big Bang.
You know what?
He only had one person from
Penny.
Big Bang, Penny, and I didn't put any.
I didn't even
in.
think of that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't really watch that show.
I didn't
though.
really know where to fit them in as far as like
True.
adults. I guess they'd
Yeah.
be adults, but like it's not like a family
Probably like
one. It's-
coworkers.
yeah,
coworkers and
or wild card or
yeah.
But some of it like I was writing down mine and I had to like recategorize people to try to fit them in
Yep,
our
same here.
thing. So it was somewhat difficult, or not difficult, but you just had to maneuver people around to get in the right categories.
Well, that's kind of why when you had us submit some extra ones that didn't make, because to explain to everybody, we took each 50 of us,
Yeah.
and then everything that matched up got in for sure.
Right.
And then we each.
there was 34 total that we matched on, like, or at least it made 2 lists.
Mm-hmm.
Some made 3, but as long as you made 2 lists, just like our video game character draft, it made the pool.
Is Zangief in there?
Zangief is in there.
All right, cool.
You can always any draft we ever do, you can draft Zangief.
Perfect.
This would be a perfect show. So it's going to be starring with Dr. Cliff Huxtable and Zangief.
Yeah,
crazy.
The wacky neighbor.
Yeah. One puts you to sleep with a sleeper hold. The other one puts you to sleep with drugs and then rapes you.
and you don't know which one's gonna rape you.
Yes.
Stay tuned to find out.
Yeah.
Now,
So 34 characters made our pool originally. So then I asked both of you to add 5 more. I took 5 that didn't make the list. So that would be 49. And then I took Cliff Huxtable off of yours because,
Yeah, it's Cosby Show.
yeah.
It's iconic.
So
What are the rules? I know you said earlier some rules about after our first draft.
okay, so yeah, the first after our first pick, we'll do round robin style. We'll have a predetermined order off air. We will have a 4th person, and so everyone will pick their main character of their show. That's the first pick in the draft. After that, you have to think of a name for your sitcom before you draft anyone else.
Okay.
So it
So-
gets a little interesting because I was even thinking about this at work. Most sitcoms aren't named after the character.
No.
If
No.
you, it's like the King of Queens, or
Yeah.
not everyone is like Everyone Loves Raymond.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like Big Bang Theory, things like that. Boy Meets World. Like it's gonna be a little tough to come up with a name, especially kind of on the fly.
Yeah, because the ones that are named after a person like Roseanne or Seinfeld, it's because that is the primary focus
Yeah.
of them 100% of the time. Like that's always going to be. Whereas in Boy Meets World, well, there's the Corey Matthews, but then there's the Sean Hunter stories,
Right.
and then there's the the Topanga arc.
And then what do you do? What's your strategy of coming up with a name? Are you just gonna call it like What's the Beef? Like what the hell are you gonna
Yeah.
call it? Just based off one character.
It's true.
So it should be pretty interesting on what we come up with.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like that a little bit, because then we can actually judge each other's show over
gonna be
like
tough.
be like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that it's gonna be Cliff Huxtable and fucking Drew Carey, and they're gonna have to work with both Arthur Spooner and Frank Costanza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Playing
is
a
that-
double role. What the hell? What
Yeah.
what
There was
show
two
name is
Michelle
that?
Tanners. It's just swapped.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What are you gonna call that show?
Exactly. That's
So-
that's gonna be a wild one.
That's gonna be the hardest part.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And we should probably say what network it's on.
Yes, it's got to be like a basic network. It can't be
Yeah.
like USA or something.
Right.
It's got to be like ABC, NBC, or Fox.
ABC Family.
Yeah.
I'm just
The
gonna try to
WB.
get all Married with Children people. And just-
UPN.
UPN.
Yeah, if you end up
God,
picking like
UPN.
the cast of Martin and
Yep.
Will Fresh Prince, then it's definitely going to be on UPN. That's
Now I have a question. If I say I draft, if Jeffrey the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is on there, is he a butler in my show?
So this is your character may not. Well, okay, your character has the same characteristics as they do on the show.
Okay.
They may not live there in the same place
Yeah.
or whatever, but because like
That's how
I was
they
thinking
act.
about that before too. Like the King of Queens is obviously in Queens. Will Smith is in Bel Air.
Right.
Bundy's are in Chicago. Like they're not necessarily going to take that area. You're just putting
Yeah.
the character in a different.
it's kind of think of it like a spin-off. Like there's a couple
Yeah.
that come to mind, like Frasier, for example. Started in Cheers, which I think took place in like
I didn't
Boston
even
or
know that.
something. Yeah. He was a main character in Cheers. Then they did a spin-off and they put him in Seattle. And they had a whole fucking series where they didn't even mention Cheers for the most part, but he was still in that world. Or like Golden Girls, they had a spin-off where they had everybody except B. Arthur, but then they like lived in a hotel. It lasted like one season. It was called Golden Palace. They lived, all three of them, the remaining three, Sophia, not
watch
Dorothy, not the daughter, but Sophia, the mother, and then the other two, Blanche and Rose, lived in a hotel with like a gay guy, and that was just somewhere else, and that's just what it was.
Never heard of this. Ever.
Yeah, it lasted one season.
Or
and
like
then
Joey.
kicked it. Oh, Joe. Yeah, again,
Oh,
Joey.
God.
Joey moved out of New York, and then I don't know where he went to, like California or something, or New Jersey or some shit.
Chandler was the best guy from Friends.
Yeah,
Friends just sucked in
it
general.
wasn't,
wasn't
good.
terrible.
I didn't,
Dude,
like it.
only people that like Friends are like chicks, and usually they're dramatic chicks.
People that don't have friends.
Yes.
Cool. You know what? I remember in high school, and I gotta give Kowalski credit on this. I'll never forget this. I had a class with him in high school. It was an English class. It was probably like 9th or 10th grade. and he had to he wrote I think we had to like create a character and create like interests, and his interest was his character liked to watch Friends, and the teacher asked why, and he goes, because he doesn't have any. And to this day, that stuck with me, and I say I applaud him. When I see him again, I'm gonna be like, by the way, I don't know if you remember this.
Maybe he'll listen. Maybe he'll listen to this.
2002, 2003.
You guys broadcast in the Chaz?
I don't know. I don't know if we're allowed in the chat.
Probably not. We probably have differing opinions. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll have certain roster spots like I went through. You get 2 adults, 2 kids, a couple wild cards, a neighbor, and it kind of gives you a strategy on how you're going to draft, because if you're going to be the last one with a neighbor, you're only going to have 1 or 2 choices.
Yeah.
There's only 5 neighbors in the pool, I believe, 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you really want Urkel, you got to draft him high. But
Yeah.
do you really value that spot?
Yeah, is
Jefferson Darcy.
Is your show going to be centered around a neighbor like an
Right.
Urkel? Because you also have to figure, Urkel can't be cast to like every other episode.
Right.
He's a guy that's got to be in there every time. Now, Jefferson Darcy, he can just show up and come and go as he pleases.
Yeah. But then Urkel, you get Urkel, Stefan Urkel.
do get that.
You get Robo Urkel.
That's true.
You get his gangster cousin from Detroit.
Yeah.
I need to watch more Family Matters.
Yeah.
What was his name?
T-Dog or
T-Dog,
something?
yeah. T-Dog from Detroit. He was gangster.
Yep.
So,
But I can't take a neighbor and make the show all about them, right?
no.
No, they have to fit in the neighbor category.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You
just making
can't.
sure.
I mean, we got to create some limits. I like where you're going
That's
because I'd love a show just with Kramer.
Yeah, right.
center up, but you can't.
well, that was my idea too. I was thinking maybe my main guy could be Cody
yeah.
Lambert from Step by Step, and it's just his adventures around in the van. Like he just drives around to different people. But the way that we had to structure it for the characters, it was a little difficult to do that.
Right.
As far as because those ones are limited. Like
yeah,
you
they would get out of hand.
So
Yeah, you got to have some structure to it. I think it would be great. The story of Cody would be a great show with him traveling around. But it would be hard to really do a full cast of characters because it's like him in a van.
Right.
Was he riding around with fucking Newman? And
Or he just does a lot of drugs and hallucinates the same people.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
he rolls into town and it's like, oh, it's Al Bundy again. Hey, you were the gas station attendant at the other town. What are you doing here? This is wild.
I scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
Oh, Newman, you're the mailman here too? In Nebraska? I just saw you out in California. This is wild.
Or it could be like that guy. There's a guy on Home Improvement.
Bob Vila.
No, not Bob Vila. It's this dude. He's like an older guy. He looks kind of funny, but he works at the airport. He works at like 2 other things like throughout the series, and they're like, "Oh, he wants to meet my brother," and like it's the same fucking guy. So you could probably do something like that, but it would be every fucking episode.
I have a question. Is
Yes.
Danny Heffernan related to Doug Heffernan in real life?
No, he is not.
Okay.
He's
Because
not-
they look like
Not-
they
I
could
thought,
be
aren't they like cousins or something like that?
I don't
the show.
know. They are in the show.
They
Are they-
look like
But
they
not-
could be cousins.
I'm gonna look.
I don't know if they're related in real
actually,
life.
I thought they may have. He might not be, but because it seemed. What was it? Danny Heffernan? Let me look him up. Because I was actually thinking that the other day. I'm glad you brought that up.
Because he's in that Chuck and Larry movie as well.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Because he's like, I know, like Kevin James is kind of like Adam Sandler, where like he just hooks up all his buddies.
Yeah.
And
Except Deacon.
except, I don't know what happened to Deacon. Danny Heffernan, fictional character. He's played by Gary Valentine.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, he's not. He doesn't. seem
Unless
to be
he's a cousin on the mom's side or
Yeah.
something.
maybe he might be something like that. Gary
You
Valentine.
you gotta look up like
Oh no, Kevin James' real life brother. So he
Really?
just changed his name, or maybe Kevin James is actually Kevin Valentine. No, but it's his real life brother.
I knew
Yeah.
they looked alike.
Yeah.
huh,
So you were onto something. Look at
See?
that.
All
look
right.
at that.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.
Well, did you want me to go through the list right now, or should we put that off and continue to just talk about?
We could go through the list. I was gonna say real quick though, one show that I'm surprised didn't get picked at all, and it just went out of my head. God damn it!
That's
It was
what happened to me
I was
earlier.
thinking
with
one
me.
earlier, and I can't remember what it
Oh
was.
God damn it! Oh, as soon as I was saying the sentence, it just like all I could think of was fucking Kevin James's brother. So yeah, you know what? Go
like,
through the
like Yes Dear didn't. I mean, that one was kind
was-
of
yeah.
like
a sleeper, but I love that.
sleeper.
Wings.
Wings.
Wings was huge back in the
I
day.
never watched an episode of Wings.
I used to watch the reruns on USA all the
Is
time.
it about an airport?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it had a young Tony Shalhoub.
I thought
before
you
he
were
was
gonna say
Monk.
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
wish.
Goddamn, Tony Schiavone.
Had a young Thomas Hayden Church. That was
Crickets.
I don't know who that is.
If Six
You guys
Flags
gotta get
doesn't
on-
know, I don't
You guys
know.
are too wild for me. All right, go
All
ahead.
right, so I'm gonna run down the list real quick, and if you want to stop me to talk about somebody,
right.
just holler.
All right.
The adults in the adult category, and
Uh-huh.
like I said, it was a little bit difficult to put people in the right category, so just bear with us. Tim Taylor, Tim the Tool Man, Doug Heffernan,
Okay.
Blanche from Golden
The
Girls,
slut.
Yep.
Dorothy,
Okay.
Carrie Heffernan, Ray Barone,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Payne, which I never knew that was his last name. Is that like a known like? Do they,
I looked it up on Wikipedia. Yeah, his last name in the show was Martin Payne. Yeah. Because his Mama Payne is when he
Gotcha.
dressed up as the his
Uncle
mom.
Phil, Al Bundy, Peg Bundy, Dennis and Frank Reynolds, Red Foreman, and it says Dr. William Huxtable, but again, it's
Yeah.
Dr. Cliff Huxtable.
I was a little out of it when I wrote that. Just
So the kids, it's funny. The kids, we have Brad and Randy Taylor.
okay.
Me and Six Flags had both those kids. We were like, fuck the youngest one.
Yeah, I don't.
Neither
no one
of us
cares.
had the youngest
No,
one on.
what
it.
was it, Mark?
Yeah.
I fucking hated Mark. Mark was
Nobody
such a
liked him.
fucking pussy. Get him
So-
out of here. I wanted to kick his ass.
Well, in one episode, he has pink hair.
Yeah, I remember that. He
'Cause
was
he turns like goth.
like, wasn't he
That's a
gay at
go-to
the
in
end of the
shows.
show anyway?
What's it?
Didn't they bring him out as gay at the end of the show?
No.
Oh.
I think you mentioned that before. No, he's
Thought-
never gay.
no.
He's just weird.
Could have been.
Corey Matthews,
Yep.
Carlton Banks, Michelle Tanner, Bud and Kelly Bundy.
Now Michelle.
Michelle's the youngest.
Yeah. Okay. That's
she's
right.
the
that's
Olsen.
Right. Yep.
Will Smith,
Mm-hmm.
Alex P. Keaton, Baby Sinclair, which
Yeah.
That's a good one.
whoever ties that into a show somehow.
That is for dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted it came between Earl Sinclair and Baby Sinclair.
Earl's the dad, right?
Yeah. And I was like, the baby. I mean, dude, I had a Baby Sinclair like doll, and it was big enough. What you do is it had like this thing where it was like a cord. I think it was like a hydraulic type of system where if you squeeze the trigger, the compressed air would make the mouth move and he would eat. And you could bring a bottle up and he would drink it.
See, I didn't even know the name of the baby.
Yeah, it's just Baby.
Yeah, just Baby Sinclair. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember it
But the
either.
thing is, too, is like, how are you going to fit that in the fucking sitcom that you're building?
Well,
it's the
Hey, they
only
have-
fucking non-human.
It's
You
yeah.
can do it.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you love to see? By the way, from this list so far, Carl Winslow. I'm surprised Carl Winslow didn't make it.
I didn't like Family Man.
I had Carl Winslow on mine, and I was the only one that had Carl.
I was just saying because I'd love to see Baby Sinclair hit Carl Winslow in the head and say,
Oh,
"Not
yeah.
the mama."
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sell tickets.
Yeah,
Or
like it's
Live
a-
shows on
Yeah.
ice. You know when they go to on ice.
or Mama Winslow.
Well, Mama Winslow, yeah, you're
Winslow
right.
didn't make it either.
You're
Can't
right.
even picture what she looked like.
She looked like Martin in a old lady wig.
Yeah. There's been multiple times where I've told Trey that I've seen Mama Winslow because she's got one of those faces. Zach Morris, Eddie Winslow made it.
Okay.
JT Lambert and Sean Hunter.
JT Lambert. JT. Which one's?
He's the oldest on Step by Step.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Step by
So.
step. All right.
The wild card category, we have AC Slater, who,
Sits backwards in a chair.
yeah, if Melvin Troy does
fucking hate
not
that.
pick him, you know,
Fucking hate AC Slater.
Newman,
I like
Joey
Newman.
Gladstone, cut it out. George Costanza, Jeffrey Butler, which his last name is Butler.
Yeah.
So,
Kind of fell into that job.
yep. Uncle Jesse, Robert Barone, which I think he might be a sleeper. Robert's fucking
He's good.
hilarious.
Yeah,
He's
Robert
good.
is pretty solid.
Our only dual actor, Frank Costanza and Arthur Spooner, are both in it.
You got to get both on the same show.
That would be great.
So, that would be like a fucking Professor Clumps
Yeah.
episode.
They
we
take
ha-
each other out. They walk each other. Frank Costanza's just really angry, and then fucking Arthur's just confused.
Bob Vila,
Everyone needs a villain.
which But yeah, Bob Vila's in enough episodes of Home Improvement.
It
that-
counts.
David Puddy and Charlie Kelly. We go on to our coworkers. We have Deacon Palmer from King of Queens,
Yep.
Al Borland,
Yep.
Griff from
love
Married with
Griff.
Children,
Oh, that's right, Griff. I forgot.
the
awesome.
shoe salesman. Yeah,
That's right. When you mentioned it earlier, I thought you were referencing Steve Urkel's fucking cousin from that's T-Dog. That's I
Yeah.
got confused. All right.
Did I mention Danny Heffernan?
No,
Danny Heffernan and Mimi from Drew Carey Show.
that was a good one.
Yeah, she was a perfect villain and slash
Yeah.
coworker. Because she was. From what I remember of that show, it was just Drew Carey and her just insulting each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only two people I know from that show.
Yeah.
And it was that one dude that I mentioned. Remember, I was watching the Fresh Prince episode where his aunt is marrying a white dude. That dude is in Drew Carey Show.
Which one is
Not
it?
Ryan Stiles.
Oh, the curly hair
Yeah.
guy? Yeah. Yeah, he was in Drew Carey. Yeah, he was like his best friend.
Yeah.
I was actually almost put him down as a character, and I was reading his name is like, not Lee Harvey Oswald, but it's like Oswald Lee Harvey.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember that. That's a pretty interesting name. And then I read the description of that he was a mailman in the show, and then later he was a nurse in training. And I remember in the show he was a very sensitive guy. I was like, that's B. That's B. This-
Goddamn B. And then our neighbors category, we have Cody Lambert, who we put into neighbor because he lives in a van, technically, in their driveway. Urkel, Jefferson Darcy,
Yeah, CIA member.
Kramer, Shanae, and Mr. Feeney.
Yeah, Feeney is one, and I was glad to made it to because I completely forgot about Feeney.
Yeah, Feeney, and Feeney, Feeney's there from fucking episode 1 till, you know,
he ain't going
the-
anywhere,
The season finale.
dude. Think about this.
Or the
I'm
series
just spitballing. You get both, fucking Frank Costanza, Arthur Spooner, Feeney, and I mean that's a good base right there. And then
And
you just
like
build
Blanche.
out. Blanche, yeah, it's just a bunch of old people.
Yeah,
Blanche could just be fucking all of them.
yeah.
Call it the Golden Crew.
Golden Cocoon.
Yeah, like so I really don't know a strategy for this because like you said, like you could go like all old people and like actually kind of make a sitcom, or you could just be like, all right, I'm taking randoms, or it's a very
We'll
different,
have a clear winner of who wins the draft, though, right?
I don't know.
I think what we should, well, it'd be tough because if we put it to a vote, no, here I think what we should do is it'll be 4 people. We put it to a vote. If, obviously, you can't vote for your own, but everybody puts in like a vote or 2, maybe 2 votes. I'm trying to do
We're
the
gonna
math in my
quiplash
head.
it?
Yeah, like a quiplash thing, and then it's like everybody kind of votes on. We could do series of votes.
Yeah.
You like put up this team like a bracket. Like okay, these 2 shows together. Which one do you like out of these 2? And these 2, which one? And then bracket it out. And okay, here's the final 2.
Right.
And this is going to be the winning show. And that I think that'll be more fair because if you just say everybody throws in a vote, everyone's going to vote for their own
Right.
shit, and it's
But like,
don't know.
I
We'll
mean,
figure it out.
I was thinking when I was making my list, like I was like, man, like Tim the Toolman Taylor would work good with Frank Lambert because they're both in construction. Then you could throw Al Borland in there.
yeah.
You know,
okay.
And then you could just give like
What are you gonna name it? Let's go.
construction dudes on the move with Cody Lambert. Fucking throw Cody in there because he does construction. He's in the
Not
van.
really. It's not.
He's got a van to move materials.
Doesn't really have like a ring to it. It's close.
Well, he put me on the spot. Six
How about-
Flags put me on the fucking spot.
call
man.
it like working hard.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
better.
that. Working hard.
Men
with
at
Cody.
work.
Men at work.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Men at work. It's a good one. It's got a nice ring.
See?
If I had a band, I'd name myself that.
It's a good movie too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, or you could have like Sean Hunter with Zach Morris.
Oh yeah.
That-
Troublemakers.
some troublemakers.
Yeah. Mix them in with like George Costanza.
You're right. I don't know why George would be hanging out with
'Cause
two
he-
teenagers.
bad
He's a-
seed.
He gets into trouble. I mean, don't you remember he was trying to like he was on unemployment for like 3 years
Yeah.
until he wrote a show with Jerry.
But that also gives me to a point that we mentioned earlier about taking the character out of the show, because okay, so if you have 2 parents or 2 adults, you got to assume that like one of the kids that you draft, like Tim, the Toolman Taylor, could be Zach Morris's dad now. Does that
Yeah.
make any sense?
Yeah.
So like that's how
You
you.
put them in a father figure
yeah.
role, yeah. Because it's all independent of each other. Like they're not like for a show like Alex P. Keaton, was filmed in like I believe the 80s. He's still a kid. It's not
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox now, just
Yeah.
kind of shaking it up. Like
And,
no, he's
and their names don't have to stay with them. Like it could be Zach Taylor or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
or
It's just their
it's their
character
personality.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, can I pick Tim Taylor to be my neighbor?
no. You got to pick from the neighbor.
You got to pick
category.
from a neighbor. That's why there's flex categories. So you can get like if you
No, that
wanted
makes
two
sense, that makes
neighbors or no, we said no neighbor, no coworker for the flex, but if you wanted an extra adult or kid or wild card,
Because it also makes sense too. Is you don't want a Tim Taylor as a neighbor because he's gonna because if your main character is like, Cody, and your neighbor's Tim Taylor, well, Tim Taylor's gonna steal the show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an Urkel
Not
situation.
if I book him like an asshole. He's always fucking up his house, and
That's
cops
that's
are
true.
there, fire
See,
department.
That's why when I was kind of picturing this, I wanted Tim Taylor with Carol Lambert because she's
could see
hairdresser.
them together.
She's a hairdresser, and he could be repairing her salon and just fucking everything up and then fucking everyone's hair up.
And they're a realistic couple.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Throw some Borland in there.
Yeah, little Borland. He's born.
Maybe
to be Borland.
born to be Borland. we were gonna start a blog. There was a period of time when
Yeah.
we would just get fucked up at bars,
Back when blogs were still a thing. Yeah.
and we would find, dude. There was for some reason. I mean, it wasn't like a big trend,
But it was new. It was new at the time.
Yeah, it was a little new that you would see like 2 or 3 guys wearing flannel T-shirts at the bar.
With
Yeah.
beards. This is when beards
Yeah.
were big. They were coming in for the first
They're-
time.
It was like
always
hipster
big.
beards
Yeah.
and shit. So like what we would do is we'd have Melvin Troy go up to a guy and be like, "Hey, would you mind being on our blog?" And they'd be like, "What's your blog?" We'd be like, "Born to be Borland." And we
Say this to
yeah,
me.
Yeah.
And we would take a picture with him and the guy.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to charm them up. Be like, dude, I love the flannel,
Yeah.
love the beard. Listen, we got a website called Born to Be Borland. I'd love to have you on it. And then we just do a selfie together. Be like, hey.
Yeah.
Did you actually have a blog?
No.
No, we got the pictures, and then
We
I
just got the pictures like weirdos.
and then it didn't. And then I was gonna put it together. I was like, where's this gonna go? Like,
Dude, we could cover the wall with that. I'm on a wall somewhere with the beard wall, and Mike's on the water or something.
Yeah, but Born to be Borland.
yeah, that was a good idea. It was a lot of like I was saying
a
earlier
spin-off show for
how I
this.
was going through a bunch of like old files, and there was I had a lot of like good starts to, or good. How do I explain it? Good starts to bad ideas, or bad starts to good ideas, type of thing,
Probably
and
both.
that kind of falls in that category.
Great idea.
It is a great idea.
Yeah.
Reboot it. Let's go.
Yeah,
But
Born
like
to Be Born.
imagine like Peg Bundy with I don't know, George Costanza
Yeah.
I picture with
Yeah.
Blanche just slutting it up.
slutting it up. Well, I think Peg Bundy it would be good with like a rich guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the other Ed O'Neill character from Modern Family.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would make sense. Yeah, you know what? I'm surprised. Yeah, there's another
Yeah,
one,
no,
Modern Family. I
I've
didn't
never
think of
seen
that.
I've never really watched Modern
Neither
Family.
have I,
I've seen
though.
like
It's
bits
really
and
good.
pieces.
I like it.
But
I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard that. Yeah, obviously Ed O'Neill's a big.
or like 2.5 Men. No one from 2.5 Men.
Yeah, I never really. That was one I thought of, but I didn't. I only watched a few episodes of like when Charlie Sheen was on it.
Right. Ashton Kutcher sucks.
Yeah,
I don't know why you even tried to do that.
And if I was gonna go with that, I'd only pick Charlie Sheen. What's his name? Charlie in that show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I
his
like.
name's Charlie in Spin City too.
Oh, that's right. He took over for Michael J.
Yeah.
Fox. That's right. I forgot about
Like
that.
I think every TV show he's ever been in, his name's Charlie.
Yeah.
Just
Makes it pretty simple.
Yeah, he's probably too fucked up to.
He was Rick Vaughn in Major League.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's
That's a movie.
Oh, you're talking about like you've seen it.
I've seen pieces.
Sorry, it's no Dirty Grandpa.
It is whatever. Fuck you, man. I was high, and got self conscious about my movie list. Go
I
fuck
can't wait to
yourself.
hear that episode. It's not out yet.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
out.
It'll be out.
You
It's
can
gonna
go-
come out
I'm gonna
this week.
shit
It'll
all
come
over
out
your
with
list.
this, and then that one's gonna come out
Yeah.
since I'm behind. I've been out of town, so think the schedule kind of got fucked. But yeah, we'll be back on track this week. and it's gonna go up.
You motherfucker. Six Flags Sam.
This is actually gonna work because in the other one we had was like just a drunken rant at like 3 a.m. about the struggles of women.
Struggles of women. And yeah,
And-
that's
That's for
probably
premium members.
That
only.
one- I mean, it's not bad, but there's just some stuff I gotta take out. There's some things I got
Names,
a little too
addresses.
Yeah, a little. I got a little
Phone
too,
numbers,
uh,
pictures.
descriptive and some stuff.
Facebook.
Yeah. So, but no, I think. Did you go through the whole list?
I did go through the
Okay,
whole list.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
So that's the pool. It's technically 51 people.
Okay.
We'll each get, I think our roster size is 10, so we'll have 10 rounds. We'll have, a few people
We have
left
another
over.
board.
Yeah.
Okay,
we'll have
cool.
another whiteboard.
Yeah, that'll
And,
be good. Yeah, we'll do a whiteboard, and then I'd like to do. I don't. Well, hold on. I'll think about that. I don't want to say it because maybe it's a bad idea, and then I don't want to put it out there and then be stuck with it.
Or
Now I got it.
imagine Peggy Bundy with Jeffrey.
That would be pretty good.
Like
I mean,
she's poor, but somehow she has a butler.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Maybe they went to court and he didn't have money to pay, so he had to be her butler for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
wasn't that an episode of
I'm
Seinfeld?
pretty sure that was the whole thing of Seinfeld, of their show.
Yeah, that was like the fake show. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. When they made dude, that show. Season 3 of Seinfeld is when it really all came together. I don't know if you've ever really watched much of
No.
Seinfeld.
I never watched it in order.
Dude, definitely do that because actually the seasons, it's like kind of like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like they have each episode
Never
its own
watched that.
story,
This
but
show's
they
awesome.
all
I heard.
the seasons actually all link together. Like there's always a storyline over. So the third season, the major storyline is Jerry gets the opportunity to make a show, and him and George can't think of anything, and they basically procrastinate, and then they go to the meeting, and it's like, listen, the original idea was that the show was going to be, like a guy gets in a car accident, and the judge says, well, you have to be this guy's butler for like 3 years or something, and that's the show. And they were like, no, that's stupid. And then the other idea was like, listen, it's a show about nothing. It's like we went to the Chinese restaurant. Because, I mean, in early episodes, it was. It was a
Right.
whole episode about them waiting in a Chinese restaurant to get seated.
Yeah, it's
that
great.
was it. And it was perfect,
works.
yeah. And then that's the show that took off. And then there's like, then it was like they had to put the show together. And like there's the fake Kramer meets the real Kramer to learn how to be Kramer. But he doesn't want to learn how to be Kramer. And then the real Kramer gets upset about it. It's a good show. You got to watch it. Or then there's the season where George gets engaged, and then he really doesn't want to get married by the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then she ends up dying, and he's like,
The envelope.
"It's the summer of George. The summer of George is here. He's free. He's a free man."
I just remember George ate the eclair off the
Oh, out of the garbage.
out of the garbage. Yeah.
I believe that was on one of your previous podcasts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then he was dating that chick, and her parents thought he was homeless.
Yeah, that's the same girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was in the same season, I think.
Because I think earlier in the episode, like he spilled like some coffee on a car, and he was like cleaning it up, and they thought he was homeless.
Yeah.
What a great show.
It was. I mean, it was. If you watch that though, like they're all fucking bad people. Like they're all
yeah.
like they're all
That's why
assholes.
the end of that season is
Yeah, with
their
them in
series.
just jail is perfect. The rest of the ending, you could tell by the end of that show that Larry David had a great idea of like they need to end up in jail, but for some like inane thing, like it's just a nonsense issue. But the journey to get them from where they're at to jail, he kind of fumbled the ball because then it was just a clip show of like them in court, and I was like, I don't know about this. That was kind of a
Soup
letdown.
Nazi didn't make the list.
I put it on my
Yeah,
list.
Ooh,
He
you
did
did
put
have
on
a
his-
good list then.
Yeah.
He did put it on his
Alright.
list.
Yep. You guys didn't put it on
Just
yours.
draft it anyway. What are we gonna do? Stop you?
It's like, yeah, I'm putting the soup now. Which, by the way, that's
Yeah,
another
Sonic's
character.
not on this list.
I'm not. Trust me. When we have to print these, my wife is not doing it.
Yeah.
You're fucking something else up.
God
Oh,
damn.
that's right.
It
I
was-
forgot
it-
about
was,
that.
It was number fucking one.
And Samus got cut off.
Yeah, Samus got cut off. Well, I don't think anyone would have picked Samus.
I don't think anyone picked Sonic either.
I picked Sonic.
Number one.
Sega did. Where are they?
They're still a powerhouse. They're pretty big. They're pretty big in Japan right now because they do a lot of those.
Who not big in Japan?
they do a lot of
They're
those,
all
like,
5'4".
anime. Yeah, they do a lot of those anime RPGs over there. So that's
Oh, yeah.
that's like Sega's bread and butter over
No,
there.
they're still behind a lot of good stuff.
Just in America, they can't seem to get any traction because they keep fucking up the Sonic stuff.
I just want to play Double Dragon.
I think they got another. There was a remake of Double Dragon that came out recently, and then Battletoads is coming out next month, August.
Thank you. I was
Or
gonna
no, this
ask,
month.
When does this happen? I want to play Battletoads.
It's late August. I think it's like
What's
the
it coming
20th
out
or
for?
something. Xbox, because they own the rights. So it's going to be an
You
Xbox
shitting me?
exclusive. Yeah.
I gotta buy an Xbox just to play Battletoads.
But you probably play it on PC. If you have the Game Pass, you get access to all their fucking
Fuck.
company stuff. You have a gaming PC, just fucking
Yeah, but it's
go
not
Game Pass.
that's
It's
not-
like $13 a month.
I don't want to
all
play
their
that
shit.
on a PC.
Put a controller in, plug it in a TV. You're good to go.
That's might as well play a fucking console then.
That's the way
You're
Xbox is
changing it
going.
into a console.
Yeah. Xbox is going. They're trying to bridge the gap between PC gaming and console gaming,
Yeah, I like how they're doing.
and that's why the Xbox Series X is pretty much just a gaming PC. I mean, let's be honest. They're not like.
That's all they all are, besides Switch, really.
Yeah. Switch is smart because they took the handheld stuff and then plus the console stuff and they just merged it into one. So they don't have because they were doing this thing where they would have, whatever system, like the Wii U was the previous one. But then they have the 3DS and nobody bought the Wii U. So they're like, oh, let's put all our major games on a 3DS. And I'm like, as an adult with large hands, I'm like, I don't want to play Luigi's Mansion on a 3DS. I want to play it on the TV, goddammit.
Why would you want to play Luigi's Mansion in the first place?
Oh, wow.
Why don't you?
Wow.
I can't believe you just asked that.
Why don't you, let me get the door for you.
Shut your mouth, Six Flags.
You're lucky.
Rather have fucking two scissors, no hand Sam here.
That guy's
Oh.
a douche.
At least he fucking struts. Snip.
What, like Brutus the Barber
Yep.
Beefcake?
He fucking struts his way in here. You just fucking show up on a roller coaster.
Obviously,
roller
green
coaster.
screen.
You don't even have a good story why they call you Six Flags.
'Cause I can make one up, but then next week it's not going to matter.
Why not?
You know damn well why not.
I mean, if you're never going to be on the show again, Six Flags, it's all right. You can tell us now. We were
I don't know how to answer
We
this
were
at
hoping
all.
that you were going to be a recurring guest, but I guess you're not.
God damn.
Yeah,
Thought we
fuck
had
us,
something.
right?
Yeah, I thought we
Fucking
had
A.
something here.
All right. We're just going to mute his mic out for the rest of the show because it doesn't fucking matter. He's never going to be back.
Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Acknowledge me. Corden. That's inside. Sorry, it makes me laugh.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be a fun draft, I think.
And-
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
excited.
It's going to be a
for it.
goddamn disaster, but I think it's going to be great.
I think we got a sponsorship though. This
We
week.
do have a sponsorship.
We need to
and
get into
It's
that.
an interesting one. Usually our
I'm at the edge of my
sponsorships are pretty interesting, but today's like no other sponsor we've had before.
I'm waiting for one day. What I'm trying to do. I've been doing some sales work a little bit. I'm trying to nail down a good sponsor. There was a ride share service that I'm wanting to bring on. I think we could do a good job. I believe it's called like Swovelin's Ride Share. I don't know. I gotta get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
So I'll give you some status updates.
I think I may have heard that. It's a startup company.
Yeah.
Today's episode, by the way, is brought to you by Tramel's Indian Casino.
Oh, nice.
Are you sick of playing the same game, old slot machines, tired of blackjack and craps? Come play the unique games that Tramel's Indian Casino offers. Try your luck and wager on games such as Spin the Bottle, Simon Says, and Higher or Lower.
Nice. I love all those games.
Come crank our giant Jack in the Box for your chance at $1 million for the whole month of August. Also, visit TramelCrappedOut.com to get your $10 worth of free play. Again, that's TramelCrappedOut.com.
Oh man, I like
Tramel, I
that.
wonder what tribe he's from.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but they got this big giant Jack in the Box, and you take one crank at it, and if the Jack comes out, you win $1 million.
I love to turn cranks. That's
Those things terrify me
So, who knows?
every time.
I'm not really sure what reservation it's on.
yeah. I
But-
think it's. I mean, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, it's out up north somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Navajo or something.
Yeah. That's something like that. Or Apache.
Yeah. Adobe.
Yeah. Yeah. The Adobes.
Blackhawk.
The Pueblo. Is it the
The
I'm just naming
Pueblo.
helicopters.
the Black?
Sorry, we took your land, but we'll name some cool shit after you guys.
Wasn't there like the Blackfoot?
There was the Blackfoot.
Isn't that an Indian thing?
That's
I wanna
what
know-
I didn't want to say.
Like, Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I was just going through actual Indian.
There's also the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
anymore.
Yeah.
What are they going to be?
Dude, they should seriously take a page out of Prince's book and be the Washington, formerly known as the Redskins.
I just
like
don't
that.
get why the Redskins offend people, but the goofy ass Indian from Cleveland baseball team.
They got
doesn't-
rid of that
Oh,
too.
what is
did?
it? Fucking King Nakahoma or whatever.
Yeah.
Chief
Or
Wahoo?
Chief Nakahoma.
Chief Wahoo, right?
Which
Yeah.
one had Nakahoma? Because he knocks a homer.
I don't
You don't remember
think
Chief Nakahoma?
thing.
I-
How would you fix baseball,
Wow.
Melvin?
How would I
damn
fix it?
Why did you have the? I didn't think our show was getting to this. This is just gonna be a thing of like we're gonna hype it up like the Samoa Joe project
That paid off.
and
That was
keep
Yeah,
throwing
well,
it under the rug.
I think in the case of brevity, it is something we would probably have to do a deep dive on because there's a lot to cover. But I do believe that there needs to be some changes, especially now with the MLB. I mean, you're not able to do a full season right now. Viewership's probably, I don't know if viewership's completely down, but I mean,
it's probably up if anything because
Yeah.
of no
Right now,
sports
yeah.
having.
but the thing is I now's a great time to really make some improvements, make some change, make some
Such
drastic
as?
changes. I mean, like I said, for the
Stop
case
poking the bear.
for the case of brevity, we'll save it for another episode. But I'll just throw this out there, and I'll
Everyone has a bat.
oh, that's part of it. Well, okay. So since you threw that out there, I'll at least give you this little nugget.
Fucking A.
We'll get
Yes.
into the rest of it another day. But this is one of my things that I was thinking is the basemen, they get bats, right? And you'd be asking like, why? Why are they going to get bats? And how are they going to carry them? First of all, because they're too busy catching a ball, right? They're basemen. Well, they'll keep the bat in a pouch behind like a sheath on their
like
back,
Casey Jones.
like Casey Jones. You got
All
it
right, all right.
And so if they need it, they just reach back
I quit.
and pull out a bat. And so you'd be like, why do they need bats? What are they going to hit? You're not going to hit the guy trying to get to the base. That's ridiculous. But what would happen is it allows the ability, if they're quick enough, if the regular batter hits the ball and they see an opportunity, especially if they're like an outfielder. Outfielders get bats too. Outfielders more so are going to need them. They can see it and they're like, oh, it's a nice pop up. They get themselves lined up and pop, knocks it back. If the fucking catcher catches it before it lands, they're out. And now you just flipped the script on, you took a defensive play and made it to an offensive play, and it sped up the game. So this way, even with a shorter season, they're going to be able to bang out the full amount of season games.
How did it speed up the game?
It just, I mean, I don't want to.
The ball's going faster off the bat than it would if you were throwing it.
Yeah, now you're flipping the script on them. Now you've already got a guy out, and you've already got a run for the defensive team, which is now the offensive team.
This is why you call you caboose, because you're just trailing behind on
Yeah.
the times.
Think about it. You'll rack up the runs a lot faster, and you'll run through the innings a lot faster. So that's one idea. There's a bevy of other ones we can get into another day.
But
that
Vince
was-
Russo doesn't have time.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a future episode because
A.
I think we can really
I'd love to hear about
make
it.
some changes.
Back to the sitcom draft.
Yes.
So
Jesus Christ.
the fourth member will be Scott Steiner next week.
Possibly. We've reached out to him multiple times.
I would love it if he could. Be in here.
I mean, we renamed that chair the Steiner recliner.
Yeah,
So
I think he'd fit nicely in this chair.
as long as Dogface doesn't fucking come,
Yeah, dog.
we don't want
face.
fucking Dogface Gremlin in here. Because I heard if you get Dogface Gremlin wet after midnight, it's not a good thing.
Don't say his name 3 times.
Yep.
What was that, twice?
Yeah, so stop.
Dogface.
Stop.
You don't need that son of a bitch running around in here.
Yeah. Who fucking knows? Yeah. Dude, so we were talking about the fucking movie, top 10 movies, right? I should have fucking put Ted over Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah,
The Teds.
I was. I can see Ted is a
But
classic
yeah,
movie.
for some reason, man, I got like super self-conscious about my fucking shit
Dirty
because I was
Grandpa,
way too high.
The jackass one?
No,
the other
the
with
one with
Robert De Niro.
Efron and De Niro.
They were in a movie together?
Yeah, it's fucking. It's actually pretty damn funny. And the more I watch it, the funnier it gets. But it's like Efron's grandma just died, so like De Niro was married to her for like say 60 years or whatever the fuck, and basically he had like this promise with his wife. They, you know, if either of them died, they would move on like quickly. So like right after the funeral, like he wants to just go down to Florida to spring break and get laid. So De Niro is trying to get laid by like college girls.
Okay, I'll watch that. Can I tell you about a sleeper movie that I was made to watch?
Sure.
It's called either
Spring Breakers.
That was a
That
good
is anyone who has that as their number one is a complete moron.
one. Actually,
That was the producer Mo.
Yeah, I think he's put that as number one.
It's called either Robot and Frank or Frank and the Robot. This old man, it's a little bit in the future. He's senile. He lives alone, so his son buys him a robot to help take care of him. Cooks him food.
Is this a
cleans
movie
up
that
the
you
house.
showed me last night when I was high?
No, that was Control, where the kid has the remote controlled yodeling guy that he steals a steak with. This is completely different. So this guy,
I don't know
he
about
used to
your
be
taste in movies, man.
a jewel thief, so
Blue Streak.
he just works with the fucking robot to steal jewelry and books. And it's a great movie.
This sounds
Very
terrible,
heartwarming.
man.
It's a great movie.
It does look like I'm looking it up right now. It looks like a heartwarming film.
It's a good movie. I almost cried,
It's
which
one of
I've only
those.
cried during Armageddon and Homeward Bound.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that tells a lot about you.
Yeah.
Now listen,
I'm glad you're not going to be
There's
on after this
movies-
show. After this,
there's movies
episode.
that I've shed a tear to, not pussy movies like that.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year, bro.
I would say-
when Shadow comes over the hill in Homeward Bound, when you think he's dead, you didn't
You
shed a tear.
know he wasn't dead.
I didn't know that the
gonna-
first time.
I'll tell you this. I got 3 movies for you. These are acceptable to shed a tear. The first, Land Before Time.
Okay.
First,
Hey,
Land Before Time,
okay.
especially if you have like separation anxiety issues, like I did as a child, because I had divorced parents. So I'm watching it after they're divorced, and the whole idea of like a parent just being gone, and I was like, that was horrific to me. That was scary. So I was, but I continued because I like dinosaurs, so I just keep watching it and torture myself and cry.
Well, the thing is too is like, and I didn't notice this until I was an adult, is that they do that on purpose so like you can like kids learn to like they can continue on.
yeah, no,
You
yeah,
know?
it's
Or
a good
respect your
message.
parents.
There's that too. Yeah, appreciate what you got before it's gone. You know, Magnolia is another one.
Never
You
seen
get it's a 3-hour epic, and it gets very emotional at the end before there's a drastic turn at the end.
Is that the one about the guy with the memory in the last 15 minutes we were talking about?
No, that's
No.
Memento.
Yeah,
close.
this is with like Tom Cruise and fucking John C. Reilly and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it's a
John C. Reilly.
yeah
He's
he
a
plays
good
a cop.
actual serious actor.
Yeah, he was well he
can
was
sing, too.
It was a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, so it was the second movie right after
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It was the second movie after Boogie Nights, so it's got more of a serious tone than Boogie Nights, but it's a interesting story. Anyway, so there's that one, and Logan.
Oh, yep.
Logan was like, it was like oh, this girl lost the father. I think they killed off if I remember correctly Professor X too.
Yep, he gets murdered.
Yeah. So they killed off that, which is like a grandfather figure. Then you lose the father figure, and then again, like Land Before Time, all the children have to continue on.
You
And
could
it
have
was
killed
just-
all the kids in that movie. I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
But you killed Logan.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
After he's caring for this old man who is like he's on his way out, but he has to take care of him. Oh, it was just so sad. It was a sad one.
See, I just cried at the end of Rookie of the Year when he couldn't throw the heat anymore and he had to throw it.
Who the hell is Chet Stedman?
Yeah, he had. Well, no, the kid had to throw it underhanded, and he's like, "Mom."
Floater.
He looks at his glove, and it was his mom the whole time who was the baseball superstar instead of his dad because his
Wait.
dad wasn't around.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Wait, I thought he broke his arm, and that's how.
Yeah, but like he lost the magic at the end. I didn't really cry to this. I don't,
He's tearing up right now.
I'm tearing up right now. But Henry Rowan Gardner fucking breaks his arm, right? So
Yeah.
then he can throw the gas, but
Right.
then it wears out like in
Because
like,
he falls on a baseball.
yeah, he falls.
again.
Yeah, he falls again. That's true. And so then to get this guy out, he like somehow sees his mom in the sea of thousands of people in the crowd, and he's like ripping away this thing on his mitt, and it says her name because he thought it was his dad's glove, but it was actually his mom's softball glove.
Oh.
And then she mouths it to him. She's like, float it. And so he fucking throws it like a softball.
Is that a legal move in baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it crosses the plate.
Would it be legal in your new baseball?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I mean, there'll be destructibles and stuff. We'll get into that
Ooh.
in another day. We can get into that. You know what that movie reminds me of, though? Do you guys remember Angels in the Outfield?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Well,
that one, I like that one better out of the kids' baseball movies. But the problem I had is that, because I like Christopher Lloyd too, because I always just seen him as Doc Brown. So whatever he was in, I was like, oh, it's an angel, but he's really Doc Brown. But I like the idea of
is Doc Brown dead?
yeah. He was just he went through time and something. I don't know if you figure it out. But
He
anyway.
dies in 1855 and comes back as a Angels outfielder.
But he wanted his dad, the kid wanted his dad to be like, oh, are you going to come live with me or something?
No, his parents were divorced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or
Are
they
you
were
guys
getting
going to get back
divorced.
together?
Yeah, and he goes,
If the Angels win the pennant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, man. So
Did
then
they
he.
get back together at the end?
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember. But because I remember they made it all the way to the playoffs or something, or the end game, and then Christopher Lloyd was like, "Yeah, but you understand the Angels can't play in the finals." And you're like, "Wait a minute, what?
oh what?
I didn't know. Did God write that rule? I didn't know that was an official in the rule book." Because I'll tell you what, if I rewrite the rules of baseball, I'm going to say Angels can fucking play through the entire season up until the end. If you're gonna have Angels on your team, I think it'd be fair.
I don't know, man. I think it is kind of fair that they're not allowed to play in the finals.
But it's such a weird thing, and of course, he tells the kid, "Don't you know we can't,
moron, you idiot,
we can't play in the finals."
But in Rookie of the Year, they build that boat. It's basically a metal fucking frame of a boat, and the kid steals a motor off of his dad's boat. And he's like, guys, look what I found. And they put it on, and they pull up to the beach, these chicks, and it's smoking and shit. And they're like, come on the boat with us.
They still got the girls.
Yeah, and fucking Chris Armageddon's in that movie.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, small world.
He's fucking Henry Rowengartner,
Is he really?
AKA Jason Biggs.
Oh.
Well, it's not Jason Biggs.
Oh,
but
I was gonna say, I don't.
It's the other kid from American Pie.
Big Green.
Oh yes, I know the one. The fucking Waylon,
Yeah. So he's kind of. I would say Chris Armageddon's like a Jason Biggs and him mix.
Yeah.
More of a Jason Biggs.
Yeah, he's definitely a Biggs. He's a Biggs boy.
We should do the movie character draft after the sitcom draft.
Could build a
But that could be that. I mean, that would be massive.
All
You know what's
Stallone
funny?
characters.
You know what's funny about that? As a kid, I actually had this concept. In the 5th or 6th grade, I had a concept of the perfect movie, and I had I was gonna play the lead role as a kid. I was gonna be a
well,
child
then
actor.
it's not going to be a perfect movie.
But listen. So it was like a child rescue thing. Think of Last Action Hero type of thing, right? Schwarzenegger was going to be the hero in it. Now at the time, Jack Lemmon was still alive. He was also going to be a partner in crime. He was an older guy. He's crazy kids. But then I think the villain was going to be Joe Pesci in a robot suit, and Schwarzenegger would have to go up against him. And he would end up killing. I had a whole storyline.
Why
can't
the
remember
fuck
the name
is
of
Joe
it.
Pesci in a robot suit?
Because I think it was shortly after I seen Moonwalker, where Joe Pesci was is the Michael Jackson movie where Joe Pesci was the villain. Have you never seen this?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I know about Moonwalker. I've never.
Yeah,
seen
Joe Pesci's the villain because his whole goal is to get the kids addicted to drugs, and Michael Jackson has to save them.
I'm picturing
So
Joe
that
Pesci Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
kind of is the
with
idea. Yeah,
Danny DeVito as the brain inside.
that's actually pretty good. But this is what I mean. This is the type of draft. Because I did this. This would be a good other movie draft where you put together, and you got to put together a storyline. And I figured I could play the kid role that Schwarzenegger's protecting because I wanted to be a child actor. I thought you could just sign up. I just told my mom, hey, can we just go to Hollywood? I got this movie idea. We just get these.
Okay,
people.
so you would never get the part because either the kid from Dunson Checks In or the kid from Jingle All the Way would get it.
Well,
I don't
don't
remember
know.
the
Back
kid
then,
from
I was
Jingle All the
a
Way.
charming kid. That's
I don't know
yeah.
about that, man. Or Ernie from Billy Madison.
Ernie. Which one's Ernie?
I don't even want to talk about that movie right now.
Dude, so he came over for
He's the one who wets his pants.
He came over for SmackDown on Friday, and the main event was fucking Bailey versus Nikki Cross.
Okay.
I was like, do you even want to watch this? So I go through the movie channels.
Trying to find you, me, and Dupree.
Yeah, and our the guide isn't working right now, so I was scrolling through it, and like it gets to Billy Madison, and I was like, oh, Billy Madison. But the first shot was like, you know, when he's reading the Valentine cards,
Yes.
and like he sees like the little girls' faces. It's the one little girl with the big ass ears. That's the very first thing we see when I turn out. I was like, oh, Billy Madison. He's like, how the fuck did you know it was Billy Madison?
Nobody else would have known that.
I was like, is this girl with big ears is in no other fucking movie?
Listen.
And it's that dude from Jurassic Park. That's isn't he from Jurassic Park? That's the principal.
No.
No,
Newman's
Newman,
from Jurassic
yeah,
Park.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What's that guy from?
That guy.
He's in other shit. I can't.
Yeah.
He's like
I
the
don't know.
poor man's Newman.
He was. Yeah. Back then he was like the poor man's Newman. And then Newman ended up losing weight after
he-
Seinfeld, and then he kind of
Terrible.
was just.
Not funny anymore.
It was like, no, you were better as a fat guy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think fat guys need to stay fat.
Yep.
Yeah.
as
they
far
did.
as
Drew Carey.
yeah,
Yeah.
comedic relief.
Drew Carey's interesting. I watched this interview with Drew Carey where he was talking about. I guess Drew Carey is like loves to go to like EDM raves and like takes like Molly and shit.
He's a Hall of Famer.
But he'll go and he'll take like a private helicopter out to these like festivals out in the woods because he can afford it, and he just fucking parties. And apparently that's I think that's how he lost a bunch of weight, because he just fucking rages. Because he told this story.
Drugs.
He told a story about it was on Comedy Central. He did like a stand-up set where he was telling a story about how he had a friend of his at a rave who took too many mushrooms or something and was freaking out the whole time, and how he got lost and he was fucking with him the entire time. Drew Carey's he's a wild man.
He didn't make the list for the sitcom,
He didn't. Oh yeah,
He was
no, it
only
just
on
Mimi.
yours.
Yeah.
and then you picked Mimi for the extra 5.
Well, so the extra 5 that I put on there because I knew we needed we needed more kids, we needed another neighbor, we needed another coworker. So I was like, all right, I'll just pick all of those characters.
That's what
Fill it
I
out.
waited for you guys to pick yours, and then I picked mine based off of who you guys picked, because that's why Gibbler's not on there.
Oh, Gibbler, I forgot about Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbler and Danny Tanner were a big surprise for me that weren't on the list.
I didn't want to pick all 3 of them from Full House, and I don't like Danny Tanner.
Yeah, I think the one that from one show that got the most submissions was Married with Children. I think Married with Children had like
Well, yeah, it's got 6
yeah.
because Darcy
I almost
Jefferson.
put Buck on there. Somebody famous voiced him. Oh, it's Cheech.
Was it Cheech? Really?
Yeah, Cheech was Buck.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I'm
about
surprised
that.
you didn't put 7
Seven.
or King Kong Bundy. He was on there.
What about? Oh man, I forget. I
Or
wish I could have.
Steve.
I wish I could have added Joey Lawrence from Blossom.
Whoa!
Whoa!
I never watched Blossom.
When I thought about this like doing the sitcom draft, I thought of him, and then when I made my list, I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, he was a fucking major icon. And then because he had like he was the ideal '90s guy. He had the flannel,
With the
grunge
ripped
shirts,
jeans.
ripped jeans. He had the flowing hair, and it was
Teen Bop magazine.
and you know he ended up marrying what's her name from
Sabrina.
Clarissa.
Yeah,
And Sabrina.
yeah. She Clarissa or Sabrina didn't make it.
Yeah, that actually I almost put Clarissa, but then I was
That's
like,
a good show.
I
Ferguson.
Ferguson was good, but he married her. They're married. I think they're still married together.
Yeah, they had that show, Melissa and Joey.
Yeah, they had
The-
that. They had
the
a,
sitcom.
was it a, and they also had a reality show, I think, for a bit too.
There was a sitcom with the Olsen twins too. What was
Oh,
they both played in it, and they it was on like ABC Family after they did Full House.
I know they did some like kids stuff, like little adventures and shit like that too.
Because they were huge, man. They had their own like Barbie dolls and shit like that.
Oh yeah, they had video games. They had everything.
Yeah.
They were just a fucking. They were an industry of their own. And Hillary Duff. I'm surprised Hillary Duff didn't make it.
Well, that's a little past our.
Was
time.
it? Oh,
I think so. And unless you watch Hannah Montana.
that's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's
What's Hillary Duff from then?
Hillary
Hillary
Duff is Hillary Duff. She was what was the show on? She had a Disney show. She got famous on when she was younger.
That's what I'm saying. What show? I know who Hillary Duff is. What show was she on?
I forget what the show was on Disney Channel. And then
Hillary
she had a
Duff
sitcom with Heather Locklear, I think, where she was like the mom. And hold on, let me look it up. I'm gonna look up Hillary. And then she also had that great commercial that told us not to say things are gay. Remember
Yeah.
that?
It's
that
so
was-
Emma and Julia.
Yeah. So that was.
Yeah, you don't remember that?
no.
That's why people don't say that's so gay anymore, because like it was like this this woman goes through and this was like in like '07 or '08 maybe. This lady goes through a line at the grocery store, and these two girls are like the cashiers, and they're talking. They're like, hey, like talking about like a party or something. And they're like, yeah, that's so gay, and like the woman's like, ha ha ha. She's like, that's. She said something, and then she goes, that's so Emma and Julia, and they're like, what? And she's like, oh, when you say when you say gay meaning like stupid, that offends people.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that
What
was
doesn't offend people.
That was back when she was.
But that was like the start of the movement.
Yeah.
So it's
Like,
all
that
Hillary
commercial.
Duff's fault.
That commercial
Yep.
was huge.
You kill her, Hitler. If you go back in time,
That was whenever I remember Dane Cook made fun of that. That was how long ago that was. It was like 2004.
He was
when
funny.
Dane Cook
I'm
was.
sorry.
He was. I actually just re-listened to his first 2 albums.
first one's real good.
They're fucking pretty solid. Now some of it, I'll be honest, at the time, some of it was kind of for the time was a little bit corny. But now he couldn't fucking say that shit.
No.
There was a lot of stuff in there. It was like, oh, you can't. If he said this now, he'd be fucking canceled. Like. I got to give it to him. Lizzie McGuire, by the way, is the show
Yes.
that she was from. But yeah, no, I would listen to. He's got 4 albums. Is the first 2 I had, and then he had 2 other. He actually put one out in 2009. I got to listen to.
And not Family Matters.
Family Guy.
Ben Savage.
Wonder
Fred
Years.
Savage. Wonder Years.
Yeah,
I never watched
Wonder
one.
Years
That was
never-
before me.
I remember watching. I watched Wonder Years when I was really young.
Fucking Marilyn Manson was in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't really him.
Yeah, it was, man. It's really him.
I watched it when it was actually on, but I never watched the reruns, so I don't remember much. I don't remember any of their names, but I do remember like, what was the girl's name? Willie, not Willie. What was it? Fucking
Willow.
what was the name?
Willow.
It wasn't Willow. Mimi, not Mimi. What
Peg.
was?
Blanche.
Winnie Cooper.
Winnie Cooper. That one I remember, but the other names gone. Oh, there was actually a sitcom called Working with Fred Savage, and he played. It wasn't a spinoff or anything, but it was him as like I think he was like an office manager, and I think it lasted like a season or 2. I used to watch the reruns on USA as a kid, and it was him and. What was that shitty comedian friend that Seinfeld had that would always like want to take him out to dinner and shit and bought him like a jacket? I was like, hey Jerry, where's the jacket? Where's that jacket I bought you?
Ovaltine joke.
Yeah, the Ovaltine joke. Yeah, who is that? What was his name in that?
Damn it.
Like fucking, but not Bonanza. Banyan?
Yeah.
Banya?
Banya. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, he was in it. And then, but then he ended up bringing in, I think the ratings were down, so they brought in the girl who played Winnie Cooper to be the love interest for Ben Savage on the sitcom, and it was like to try to play off of like, they were in love as kids, and
I feel like if
yeah,
sitcoms make that move, it's failing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that fucking Kevin Can Wait. They brought in Leah Remini.
Yeah.
Is that
and
still on?
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think as soon as they brought her on, like it lasted maybe a season more, and that was it.
I'm still surprised the Connors are still on.
I didn't know it was still
Is
on.
it?
It's still on. Yeah,
Really?
I've seen that it won like I think it won an Emmy recently. It's
Just
it's
to
like
Piss
I
off Roseanne.
dude, I never got to watch any of the episodes of the Roseanne reboot, but I wanted to. And unfortunately, now you can't find those episodes. You can
Yeah.
find the Connors, but you can't find that first season that they did with her before they kicked her off. And I was like, I would have because I loved Roseanne as
I
a
heard
kid.
when it came back, it was really good.
Dude, it had the ratings were through the roof on that. It was like the highest rated sitcom to be on TV in like forever.
Goddamn Ambien ruins it all.
Yeah, they brought back Will and Grace too. I think that one's still on though.
Yeah.
I think that's still going.
I never watched that either.
I watched a little bit of it, but it was like I don't know. I was a kid and I didn't really understand the gay thing.
Yeah.
It was still kind of like, wait a minute, are they? Because it was like Will and Grace, they lived together, right? I think was the concept. But then I don't know, was Will always gay or was he like closeted? I don't remember the whole. I know they had a gay friend. There was that really like flamboyantly gay guy.
No one from the Ellen Show either.
Oh, I forgot about the
Or
Ellen
How I
Show.
Met Your Mother.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother.
Barney.
Now, see, okay, here's a question, and I don't know, you guys may not have the answer. I remember the Ellen Show, the sitcom being on, and I remember obviously when she made the big announcement that she was gay
Yeah.
back in the early 90s. That was like news to everything. And then she came out on the show. Now, I want to know, did she decide to come out publicly on the show was at that time was the show doing well ratings wise, or
I
was
have
it a
no
way to
idea.
save it?
I'm
I'm
You
curious.
don't think she's really gay?
No, I think she's
Oh.
really
No,
gay.
I have
but
no idea.
But the
I know-
timing of it
no,
was
I-
kind of
I
interesting.
get what you're saying because like my dad used to watch it
Yeah.
a lot, so I don't know if the ratings were good or not, but
And I'm
because that's the only thing I remember of the show. I don't
Yeah.
remember if her character on the show was gay
never
before
watched
that, and
well, that's what I mean. Like that's the only like. For people our age that we were kids when that was on, that's the only like thing that seems to come back. Is like, oh, she was the first like kind of gay, to come out, or gay person to come out on TV or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't remember anything about the show. But the show is remembered as being so groundbreaking, which I'm sure it was.
She's in trouble right now for something.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't keep up with her. She's just
Yeah, I
got so much going on.
Read the news is terrible.
But yeah, it's there was a lot of
But it, Six Flags over here was like,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know. He's like, I can't think of that many kids. I'm like, dude, like Step by Step has 6 of them.
that's true.
Fucking,
Not
you,
all of
you,
them matter.
you could pull a fucking.
You got
ton of kids
Melvin.
from
I
it.
mean, Mark.
You got Mark, Brandon, Al, which Al ends up being like the hottest chick out of all 3 of them.
course.
Karen, and Dana, and then JT, and you
Cody.
get Cody.
You know what you could have? I'm surprised no one picked for kids. Brady Bunch.
I was
I
thinking,
picked,
I'm like, man,
I
never
picked
really
Mike
watched
Brady.
it.
Oh, did you?
I picked Mike Brady, but
Marsha would have been.
But
the
I
one.
would have. The only thing is if I, if I would have picked a character from there, say even if I picked Mike Brady, I have only really watched the movies, and so I would have took their I would have talked about their characters in the 2 movies then, because
That's
the movies
true.
are fucking hilarious and they kind of make fun of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's the way. That's the way they should do when they bring back. I was kind of hoping like when they did the Baywatch movie. The Baywatch movie wasn't bad, but I think they took it. They took the adventure side of it a little bit too seriously,
Yeah.
and I wish they would have made fun of themselves more.
Oh, with
so
The Rock.
yeah,
I love that movie. That was funny.
it was good. I don't know.
I think the way they did it by just making fun of like,
Oh,
oh
we call the police.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we're Beach Patrol. Or whatever the fuck The Rock says.
It
Takes
was-
so much pride in fucking just being a fucking lifeguard.
I just felt they took it a little too serious toward the end.
Right.
It became too much of an act. And I understood the show was like that. They would have these like big dramatic, oh, we're gonna bust a bunch of drug dealers on the beach. And it's like, why? Why? You're just lifeguards.
Like you're probably making close to minimum wage.
So you can't care if you don't make more than minimum wage.
Nope.
Okay. You got me there.
At least I don't.
Does anybody remember there was a show that Howard Stern started?
Son of the Beach?
Son of the Beach.
Yes.
Yes.
And
they would have like the only reason I remember is because we were like fucking probably 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And they would always have a fantasy, like a fantasy image, like in every episode of like girls making out or like like mud wrestling or it'd be just way over the top and it'd be the main guy just like kind of daydreaming about the 2 girls. I think they're BJ Cummings or whatever.
Yeah. I remember that was like I could never stay up late enough to watch it. I think because I could stay up enough to watch on certain days Howard Stern on the E Show.
Yeah.
Which that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was pretty legit. I remember my grandma would watch that. Like I remember
Oh, she's spry.
she would go and like I think there was
She's like, I love that Robin.
we were watching it one time and like I want to say like Anna Nicole Smith was on and she was like that woman is just she's got problems. She's got problems. But she would like hate watch it. Howard Stern was this amazing. What was amazing about him was that he had the ability to be entertaining. People loved him because of how entertaining he was. But then he would also get people that would watch, that would hate watch or hate listen.
Yeah.
Even more so. I mean, they even explain in the movie, like, they polled, like, how many people, the average viewer who likes Howard Stern, or listener, would listen to, like, an hour and a half a day, and they would be like, oh, because I want to hear what happens next. The average person that hated him would listen for, like, 2 hours or 3 hours a day, and they would say they listen because they want to see what he's going to say next. It was insane.
Smart man.
I remember one episode that they brought, I don't know if she was a porn star or just like some chick that wanted to be on TV, but they put cream cheese on her ass, and they had like this thing that just launched bagels, and they were trying to have the bagel stick on her ass.
There was another one.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
There was a game. There was another. Another radio show, Opie and Anthony, which kind of took that same concept, but then they jacked it up a little bit.
Funny.
They had one called the Cherry Darts, where it's basically a girl bends over and she has her bare asshole. Now, granted, they weren't on TV; it was
Right.
just satellite radio or whatever. And then the goal was to get a cherry thrown and it sticks in the asshole. And if you can do that, you win.
Jesus Christ.
Did you ever listen to Rover's Morning Glory
For a little bit
with
until
Dare Dieter?
I listened to it on 97.1, and then they replaced it with Opie and Anthony.
Yep.
And then I listened to them. That's how I got it.
That Dare Dieter shit was obviously so fake.
Oh, yeah. There was
Like,
one where he said that he was like skateboarding in the hallway and crashed through like a glass window or
just
something.
Eating a light bulb and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like.
Fear is not a factor for me, Joe Rogan.
Hey, Joe Rogan.
I smoke rocks.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, and they switched. I would listen to it though every day. I would listen to him and then Drew and Mike and Jay Towers, and what was the one on the afternoon? Who were the two guys?
Kaminsky and Doyle.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
D&D were I love them a lot. They were great. They
But
had a good lineup back in the day.
oh, dude, that was when I was on the road. That was when I was going back to a previous episode. That was when I was working for the Budweiser company, and I was on the road all the time. That's all I did. I was listening to the radio, and I listened to all of that. And there was, but I remember they replaced Rover with Opie and Anthony, and it was right when, I think it was either the Kramer situation, kind of tie it back into the sitcom. Remember when Kramer went out on stage and
Yep.
decided to talk about race?
Is that how you're gonna put it?
Yeah, he wanted to have a dialogue about race. It was either that, or then there was like the drama from the Carlos Mencia thing with Joe Rogan, and they would bring in it because they would always have a lot of comedians that are famous now, like Bill Burr would be in, Louis C.K. would be in, like all day with them, fucking Patrice O'Neill, like a lot of these. Well, he's dead now, but you know he would have been bet. Oh yeah, he died.
Oh shit.
He died back in like 2012.
Yeah,
13, something like that.
he died like at the peak of his career.
Yeah, he was just about to launch because he did that Charlie Sheen roast and just fucking destroyed everybody. And I think he was about to fucking finally take off. And yeah, he was diabetic and I think he had like a coma or something. But they would have that, and then they would bring in like Joe Rogan, or they get Carlos Mencia on the phone, and they actually like had it out about this fucking beef before that video came out. And then of course the Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia video came, and he just, he's still out there. I looked him up the other day, Carlos Mencia.
They've tried so many things with that guy.
Dude, so he lost a bunch of weight after
Doing the Subway diet.
maybe, but he got thin. Right at his peak, like right when he was getting canceled off of everything, he lost a bunch of weight, and I guess he still had an audience. Well, now he's back to being Fat Mencia, and I watched video of him. Like he's doing these small, well, not anymore because of coronavirus, but at the time he was doing these small clubs, and he looked like he had no confidence. He looked like an open micer guy, like constantly like, "Hey, you're gonna laugh at this, right, guys?" I felt so bad. He was like a broken man. It's so awkward. Next time we do a podcast, I'll have to bring up the video.
And
'cause it's fucking
George Lopez had a TV show, had a sitcom.
That's right, he did.
called the George Lopez
That
Show.
wasn't a bad show.
It wasn't a bad show.
I watched it a few times.
Keep that name in the back of your mind when you have to name your new show. Maybe
But
the
the
George
George-
Lopez show will work out.
Yeah.
It could. I mean, I could pick Al Bundy and Tim Taylor and call it the George Lopez Show.
It might work.
Good ratings.
Just call it. Just be like, oh, they brought back the George Lopez show.
Yeah, I'm gonna just name whatever I
nobody's-
have Seinfeld.
Nobody's Latino or nobody is Seinfeld in this show.
That's okay. It's the spirit of the show.
Yeah, I could.
fact-
I could call my show Dwayne the Rock Johnson Show.
Yeah, you're gonna get Google hits.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty smart idea to trap in viewers. Be like, I'm really disappointed that this isn't Seinfeld or Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but at the same time, I'm compelled to keep watching.
Right.
It's
Maybe
like
they'll show up.
it was like
Yeah,
this,
the last episode, they're like, he like rock bottoms everyone,
just shows up at the end.
and they're like, what? How does this tie into anything?
Well, it ties into Seinfeld because we have a Superman in the background of every episode, just like Seinfeld. See,
Interesting.
same, almost the same show.
Huh.
Yeah, it is true. Did you ever see the little Seinfeld did like after the show ended, and before he did the comedians in cars thing, he did like this short little series that was online only, and they were like basically 10-minute commercials for I think like American Express. But it would be like they would go out. It was him and Superman. It was an animated Superman.
I've heard about it.
And the voice was fucking David Puddy or Joe Swanson, that guy. I can't think of his real name. And he would be Superman, and they'd go out and just fucking. It was like Seinfeld. They'd just fucking talk about nothing. But then they would have to make a purchase, and of course he'd be like, "By the way, I have an American Express card, and I'll buy it right this because as long as you pay it off in a month, you're good to go and whatever."
There's a
accepted everywhere.
Seinfeld horror VR game.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen it. Isn't it set up like Doom?
I don't know. I just
Oh,
know
no,
it's
that was
their
a-
apartment, and it's in VR, and I guess it's a horror game.
I don't know about that one. I'm actually confusing
There's
it.
another one?
There's a home improvement one where it's set up like Doom,
What?
and everything is like Al Borland's. Like the demons, I think, are like Al Borland's, and everything is fucking Tim Allen going, "Arr, arr, arr, arr." And, like it's constantly like that noise is like when you fire a gun.
I gotta Google
Yeah,
this.
hold on. We'll get up. I'll get the.
Oh, that might be great.
I know what. Let me pull it up here. I had just seen it the other day. Speaking of sitcoms, I think this fits pretty.
Dude,
appropriately.
I might name my sitcom Zangief in Time.
I'm drafting Zangief.
I mean, he's gonna be in every draft until he gets drafted.
All right, so here's
Yeah,
home
just keep naming them.
Home
Oh,
Improvement.
there's an actual video game.
Tim Allen's. Oh, this is Doom Home Improvement. Hold on. God damn it. Maybe I can't find it. I'll have to pull it out for the sitcom draft. Well,
Yeah.
it'll be a big reveal on that one. I'll find it.
The big reveal.
That'll be like the closer. Like, at the time, that was like
I
his
don't think so,
signature
Tim.
thing. That was his signature thing. But looking back, I'm like, why? Why was that?
Drug
Because he was a
addict.
macho man.
Yeah.
He was like a man's man.
Was
Why
he doing
not-
coke?
He was. I think he was like
He was
selling
like a
it.
drug dealer, yeah.
He was like.
Pure Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Western.
Oh yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I've been to Western.
I drove by one of his houses.
I drank a lot at Western.
He has one of his houses. I went up with a friend years ago up to, what's that?
Sheboygan.
No, it's in
Petoskey.
Michigan. The thumb of Michigan. What is
Port
Fort
Austin.
Austin.
Yeah. So at the
Been
time,
there.
I guess he had a house up there, and he was showing me around because I guess he would go up there every year. Like my friend I knew, and
His friend was Tim Taylor.
yeah, it's coincidental. And he took me around like the mansion area because of all the rich people. Like they'll just buy these vacation homes, and Tim Allen's was gigantic, right on the water. It was like you could pull up. It was like a giant cul-de-sac, but like the whole cul-de-sac was like a little peninsula in the lake, and it was And he had this massive like 3-story house right on the water.
Got that tool time money.
I just wanted to go in and just live in it.
I was gonna put
Never leave.
for like the final guy instead of Huxtable.
Yeah.
I was gonna put either Keenan or Kel, but you just can't have one.
Yeah, you got to have the team.
Yeah.
You got to have the
So-
team. I mean, look at Saturday Night Live with just Keenan. Now, if they put Kel on Saturday Night Live as a guest, that show would take a whole different trajectory.
Yeah, if he was alive, they should get him on there.
I know. It's unfortunate. R.I.P. Kel. R.I.P. Kel. He's up there with him and Jerry Stiller, 2 sitcom legends we lost.
And what's his name just died? Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley died? He
Yeah,
wasn't in a
diabetes
sitcom.
guy.
I don't know who that is.
Did he die of diabetes?
I don't know. Did he have diabetes?
Diabetes. Tested
Diabetes.
supplies.
Diabetes.
He was like a walrus.
I always sing that to myself sometimes in the house. Like, I'll get like...
Diabetes.
I do.
Amadeus.
Diabetes, 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 testing supplies.
Wow. I gotta go.
Yeah, you could just pick all fat guys and have your show called Diabetes. And that could be the theme song.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that writes all the theme songs?
It'll be called like "Who's Got the Sugar."
No Tony Danza.
Oh wow, yeah. Who's the
the
boss?
boss?
That's right. No, you're right. There was a guy back in the day that wrote the theme song for Full House,
Step by Step.
Step by Step, and Family
Family
Matters
Matters.
at the very least. There might have been more, but those 3 in particular, he fucking. We'll have to. You know what? For the sitcom draft, maybe we should play those.
We should
Nobody
get
picked jazz.
we should get a laugh track as well.
We should get a laugh
Fuck
track.
you.
I would like
What,
that.
man?
I know why.
I know what we could do. That
I
would be
I
good.
know what we can do too. And Six Flags has this look in his eye that
Yeah.
he might know our guest next week.
Yeah, Six Flags. More like, hey, let's just drop the L in that name, and then that would be more appropriate, maybe.
Oh,
How about that?
Oh, shots have been fired.
My rider was not filled out when I got here. I had no snacks. I will not be back.
I know. You're not welcome
Who's
back.
coming next week?
I think we have Bobby Caboose. We have Melvin Troy.
Yes.
Yep.
We have Laugh Track Sam.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy. He's got a very good sense of humor.
And we have a mystery guest.
Yeah, we do have.
It's
a
like
mystery guest.
when they show us like on like the SummerSlam
Yeah.
thing.
Scott Steiner.
It's like a blacked out figure with a question mark.
Yeah. Whoever it is, they're not going to be able. They got like probably, so like the average person would have a 25% chance of winning this draft.
Yeah.
Right. But since someone like myself's a genetic freak, you know, they've got more of like a 12.5% chance of winning.
And you know Laugh Track Sam can't beat you.
No, you know that. So, you know, if you take, you know, my 50% chance of winning with, you know, Laugh Track Sam's 12.5% chance of winning.
That's a 62.5% chance of winning.
And Samoa Joe.
God damn it.
Samoa Joe only has a 33 and a third chance of winning at Sacrifice.
So if you add that up, that's 95.5% chance.
That I have a winning.
So wait, I only have fucking 4.5% chance of winning.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Sorry, Bobo.
Oh man. At Sacrifice. Yeah. Scott, if you're out there, man, you're always welcome to the show.
God.
Especially
or to live here.
or to do some math problems with us.
Someone got really mad at me about that. I was explaining that joke on Twitch where I was like, yo, we've been trying to get him to come over to watch a pay-per-view for like 3 years. But our fear is that we're just going to have to rent out the back room because he won't leave. And someone got really upset. They were like, oh, what, you're saying that he's just a bum and he has no money and he will just sponge off you? And I was like, well, I don't know if he's a bum, but he'd just probably get really comfortable and not want to leave.
Yeah, and he's a genetic freak, and
He's-
what are we gonna do to make him leave?
Yeah, like he could just be like, no, I like it here. Too bad.
No.
It's a nice
It's
house.
fucking-
What do you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah, it's no insult to him. It's just like, you know, you can't stop him. We'd only have like, I don't know, what did the math come out to? Like a 4.5% chance of winning at Sacrifice if we were to try to kick him out?
And Laugh Track Sam knows he can't beat him.
Damn it.
But that's next week, and
Yeah.
you know we have Six Flags Sam in the house today.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's just, you know what? His emotions are like a roller coaster sometimes.
They're up and down,
Yeah.
Oh,
and all
You don't know-
around.
You don't know where you're gonna go. You just gotta enjoy the ride.
And you were telling me before the show that you really like that pirate ship ride,
No rides.
the back and
No.
forth
You're not a
pirate
ride
ship.
guy?
No.
Then why do they call you Six Flags?
Because I hate Six Flags. Cedar Point all the way.
But well, they got a lot of rides. Wait a minute. If you were to ride a ride at Cedar Point, we'll say, what ride would it be?
I went there, and I went on 2 roller coasters:
Which ones?
the Mine Cart and the
The
Blue
mine.
Streak.
It's the mine ride.
The Blue Streak is. I hate the Blue Streak.
I thought it was gonna fall
It
out
beats
of
the
the
hell
thing.
out of you. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the wooden ones.
I don't like heights. If they had one that was like 10 feet off the ground that just went 1,000 miles an hour, I'd be fine.
So you wouldn't like the Gatekeeper where they do. It's like set up. It's set up like in a row outside, like
Oh,
like
I
a
know
wing,
about it.
the 2 sets of wings, and then you go up the hill, you go down the hill, and then they put you. There's like these 2 keyholes, and you do like a Star Wars maneuver where you go like you do like a half a barrel roll and then slide through the 2
Oh, trust
little
me,
slots.
I virtually rode every ride at a mutual friend of ours, Breeze's house, where we just get fucked up and do first-person views of all the roller coasters at Cedar Point.
Was like the VR
Yeah.
mode? Oh, okay.
Do you wear like
No, just on the TV.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's still not bad. My dad does that.
I would
He-
never.
He gets excited about that.
Yeah, I don't like roller coasters either, but like I like the Raptor
Raptor's good, yeah.
and like the Maverick was cool, but
heard
like
that's really good.
Paternoster made me go on the fucking Magnum,
Ooh.
and that's the worst one. Like he's like, if you can make it through this,
The
then-
Magnum,
because it's old,
Yeah,
it's fucking,
yeah.
it's wooden, and it's rickety as shit.
I think.
And it was at one point it was the tallest in the world.
Well, now they got the Millennium Force.
Right?
Millennium
no,
Force.
they have one taller than that now.
Top Thrill.
Oh, that's
I
right.
won't go
That's
on
right.
those.
Top
It's-
Thrill. I won't
it's-
do Top Thrill. Top Thrill is. I'm not gonna wait in line. It's literally a
10-second
3-second ride.
Yeah.
You shoot off at like Mach 10 speed or some shit.
You gotta get the
go
fast
up.
pass.
and you go down. Oh no, that's what we do. When I go with my family, we get the fast passes.
Have to.
We stay at the park in the hotel, so we get in early. We'd go at during the Halloween time, so we get also the fast passes for those. So we don't have to wait in the haunted house lines, and it's because you're limited on time. The park doesn't open until like 5, and they close at like midnight. So you have like 7 hours, which sounds like a lot, but if you're sitting in lines,
Yeah, if you're sitting in a 2-hour line,
Yeah.
that's
And-
a third of the time.
I mean, it takes us 7 hours, even with fast
do the math.
passes, to do one of everything. So
what I was telling him before this, I want to go to a water park. I haven't
That'd
been
be
in a
fun.
water park in so long, and like Soak City next to
Yeah.
Cedar Point. I used to like Soak City better than Cedar Point.
I gotta
Dude.
work out.
I've been seeing, yeah, no, I hear you on that. I was on TikTok, and I seen a bunch of TikTok videos because I wanted to get my TikToking in before Trump bans it.
Yeah.
Which I think Microsoft bought it. I've heard rumor, so it might not get banned. I don't know, but people are taking videos because because Disney's still open with
Yeah.
coronavirus. Nobody's fucking there.
Let's
Now
go.
is the fucking time to go to Disney World.
Let's go.
Like it's literally
I can get us in for free.
the guy was walking around and he did like a series of videos of there was no lines, no one's in the hotel, like they're still fully open.
It's crazy.
And I was like,
Someone
we
that I
should
know
do
is
this.
at Cedar Point today.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I bet there's no lines. I bet it's pretty fucking chill.
I saw pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the move.
But I want to go to a water park, man. Like I love water parks.
I haven't been to one in forever. There's actually one. There's one in Michigan. It's called Michigan Adventure. It's owned by
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
company as
that's
Cedar
good.
Point. And if you buy an admission, you get both the admission to the roller coaster side and the water park side because it's smaller.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
There's also another one in Michigan. I don't know what it's called. I think it's on the
Safari.
west side of the state. But I went to it as a kid.
Serengeti?
I don't know.
Something like that.
Something like that, maybe. But they have like 30 water slides, and it's pretty big, like for a water park.
Yeah, there's that.
Wave pool.
There was that one. There was like there was a few lodges too. I went to as a kid. I forget. No, I would love to fucking do that. Unfortunately, we got this goddamn China virus, as it's been called.
China.
The
China.
Chinese disease.
Chinese disease, the Kung flu. I think I've
Yeah,
also
no,
heard out
that's
there.
my favorite
The
one.
Kung flu. I haven't heard about
Did
that
Trump
one yet.
say that one? Did he
Yeah.
coin that one?
I think so.
I think.
It's not racist. It's funny.
Yeah,
Speaking
I mean
of
that's.
it,
Hey,
I
didn't
was,
come up with
I was telling you, I have an idea about this, for an episode of the podcast, especially like because I got super high last night on some
Mm-hmm.
edibles, and I watched fucking Three Ninjas.
Great
Okay.
movie.
And I know you're not, Melvin Troy's not into the kids movies as much as Six Flags and I am, but to get the level of highness that I was at and watch these movies, you just realize how ridiculous they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just watch one because that one's like an hour and 30, so it's
Yeah.
a normal episode, but like we can just commentate on the entire thing.
Yeah.
Because especially for that movie, like they have an Asian grandpa and their mom and dad are both white. So like how does he fit in there?
It's true.
Emily,
point.
Rocky loves Emily. Everyone knows that. Emily's got a fat ass face.
Well, hey,
Like she's a chunky girl,
love
Wow.
knows no bounds.
Maybe she's got a great personality.
Maybe. I mean, she gets her
not all
bike
about looks.
stolen and she seems kind of like a nerd.
Can we
You
watch
know?
Control?
The fuck is Control?
With the yodeling remote control guy.
Oh yeah. No, we're not
I don't
watching
know what
that.
that is. I don't
Yeah.
heard of it.
I'll send you.
You can take that movie and shove it up your ass. All right.
Wow. Didn't know I was gonna get so angry right now.
Take a couple of those nuggets and throw them away. I only want a 4-piece nugget.
I'm trying to watch the figure. I just want a 4 nugget thing. And can you give me like I want a Coca-Cola, but can you make it half Coke, half Diet Coke? Because I'm really
Trying to watch my figure.
trying to watch the figure.
And I want a junior bacon cheese.
Yeah, junior Western bacon cheese. Because I'm trying to watch the
Junior.
figure.
What kind of?
And
crust you
I don't know, Cherry's Jubilee, and that's it.
What kind of crust did I want? I wanted garlic butter saw. Fucking. Just say garlic butter saw. Garlic butter. Excuse me, sir. I don't know what you're saying.
It's a garlic butter saw.
Yeah. What do you not know about a
I don't
garlic
know.
butter saw?
Seems to work when I say it. I don't know.
Fucking. They act like I'm fucking retarded on there. I'm like shit.
All right. Well, I think we've hyped up.
We have hyped
The-
up the sitcom draft.
the
It's gonna
sitcom
be
draft here.
it's gonna be good. We're gonna have to have a name for our sitcom draft, the main character.
Yep.
Name's gonna be tough.
Which
Yeah.
for the draft order, we can either do the round robin, or we can do a 1 through 4, and then the 4th gets the 5th pick, and then come back a snake draft. So
Okay.
we'll have to decide which kind of draft, because that could be interesting too, because you get the number 1 pick, or you get 2 picks in a row with the
That might not be a bad idea.
with the last
That's a
pick.
huge advantage.
Yeah.
And then when it comes back, the person at the 1 pick gets their pick and another pick, and it just keeps going like that.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think it makes it
So
because
that's more fantasy football style.
I think since this has got an actual roster, unlike the video game one, I think that might actually work better.
Yeah, 'cause
So-
video game you just pick whatever.
Yeah. Oop. Sorry.
Wow.
We'll draft anything that's not an actual sport, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
fucking draft. I'll
Any
draft.
ideas? I'll draft. I'll draft.
Okay. We got to take care of a
listen.
stroke over here.
Yeah, we gotta. So listen, the Bobby Caboose bot. We
He's
gotta
dead.
do some fucking. This is
I just got wet.
the simulation.
Oh.
The simulation is fucking broken.
Oh, that's what caused it.
A robot, dude. Not
I'm
not in the
confused.
pants.
I'm gonna move.
Well, I
Yeah, the gold dust thing. Booker. For those that don't know, YouTube Goldust gets electrocuted. He
Even
went
like
for what?
cockles.
Yeah, he went for what, probably like a whole year.
It's amazing.
Oh man, but
yeah, that's gonna be it's gonna be a
Yes.
hell of an episode next week. I'm excited for it.
we're gonna have Laugh Track Sam in the house.
Yep, Laugh
Six
Track
Flags
Sam.
Sam. Thanks for coming by. We
Yeah, you're
dude,
welcome.
we have a lot of Sams that come through
Yeah,
here.
we got,
so
we know
It's a
lot
good-
of
it's a
things.
strong name.
It is a very strong name.
yeah,
I'm sorry. It's never mind.
I like it. It's a strong. I
it's
think
not
it's a strong
like
name.
Robert Caboose
or like a Vic Murphy.
or a Melvin
Oh,
Troy
God damn it.
or even a Zangief.
I don't know. It might be up there with a Zangief.
Yeah, it's probably pretty equal to a Zangief. Zangief's probably first name is probably Sam. Zangief?
Yeah, I think so.
Samgief?
Sam
I
Geef.
could see that.
Samgief?
I think I know a guy named Sam Geef.
I think he might be on the show soon. But anyway, till next time, Bobby Caboose, Melvin Troy, Six Flags Sam. What you gonna do, brother, when the 64-bit legends come running wild on you?